Now, I must say, if you are not reading this, you really ought to slap yourself. And I really mean that. Oh my God, you guys, I don't even know where to begin with this book. We're here in Goblin Nation Part 3 of Superior Spider-Man issue number 29. Everybody, craziness. The suspense is really built in this book. There's a lot going on. Dr. Octopus, Superior Spider-Man, doesn't get a break. He doesn't really have any time to rest or anything. So what's going on in this book? I'm just going to start from the beginning and just kind of go on to the end. I'm going to give you guys a heads up right now that there are spoilers. So if you don't want to see it, you need to go ahead and shut up because I'm telling everything. In the very beginning pages, we find out that Anna Maria is actually captured by the Green Goblin and he's used as a hostage against Superior, aka Dr. Octopus, as leverage. We also find out that J. Jonah Jameson has at his disposal these drone spider slayers that were upgraded from way back in the 60s or 70s when they were first introduced. We also see that there is potential here for J. Jonah Jameson to use these spider drones to aid the heroes in their rescues and destroying the goblins that are just running rampant and destructive all over New York City. But J. Jonah Jameson has a personal vendetta against Superior and he doesn't want to do what needs to be done. He wants to do what he wants to be done. So he uses the spider drones to go after Superior Spider-Man. Now, just a quick reminder, we learned in the past issue or two that the Green Goblin knows that Superior Spider-Man really is Dr. Octopus. So he doesn't even rarely refer to him as the Spider-Man anymore. He refers to him as Otto, Dr. Octopus, those types of names. We find out quickly that the Green Goblin is actually jealous of Dr. Octopus for getting the upper hand over Spider-Man and killing him first. Green Goblin actually considers Dr. Octopus the number 2 to himself being the number 1, in which he should have been the one to really kill and destroy Spider-Man, not Dr. Octopus. So what Green Goblin actually does is Osborn blows up and destroys everything that has to do with Dr. Octopus's history, all the way from the house that he grew up in to the lab where he had his accident that caused the octopus arms to fuse to his body, all the way to the heart care clinic where he does research and work with cardiac to provide medical aid to people with physical and life-threatening conditions. He just totally just destroys everything, and he does it in a way that it's merciless. He just blows up everything. We also see that J. Jonah Jameson, he does release the Spider Slayer drones, and at the time in the room, once these Spider Slayers are deployed, Miguel O'Mara is actually there with them because he's, as we know, really Spider-Man 2099, and they look to him immediately to see where he's at, and he's not there. Once Superior goes after Green Goblin for destroying his past, he goes after him really just without even thinking, out of rage and anger, and he's not about this, I'm gonna plan and strategize on how to get you. He's just about, I'm gonna come after you regardless, and I'm gonna rip your head off. And he goes after Green Goblin, and he finds that Green Goblin has another hostage ready to use to just break down Dr. Octopus even more. And who is it? It's actually Don Lamaze. Green Goblin actually thinks that he can use Don Lamaze as leverage, and he can't. Superior's like, why do you got this guy? What does he have to do with anything? And Green Goblin is like, well, I've seen you save him and Anna Maria at one point, so he assumes that there's this personal relationship and connection between Don Lamaze and Superior, aka Doc Otto, and there really isn't. So Green Goblin just kind of throws Don Lamaze just to the wayside, and Superior tries to go after Green Goblin, but when he tries to go after him, he goes after him with his mechanical spider arms, and we find out quickly that those are no longer under the control of Dr. Octopus, but they're actually under the control of the Green Goblin, aka Osborn. So instead of the spider arms being used for Doc Ock's purposes, they are actually trying to kill Doc Ock himself while attached to his body. In this process of Doc Ock really just trying to rip off the arms so that he doesn't get hurt or anything. One arm in particular is actually about to go for the kill against Doc Ock, and Don Lamaze actually steps in the way and saves Superior from dying. He uses himself and sacrifices himself to save Spider-Man, and there's just some very touching dialogue that's really used in this, and he dies basically for Spider-Man. J. Jonah Jameson, Spider Slayers actually show up right after that, so there's really no break in between. These just tragic events after another just keep coming around all throughout the pages of this comic book, leaving Superior with really no time to regroup. These upgraded versions of Spider Slayers show up and they start to get the upper hand over Spider-Man. They are detaining him and they're holding him, and there's several of them. So, and then actually who shows up to kind of give Superior a hand? Spider-Man 2099 actually shows up, and he shows up with a remote, which actually he used to deactivate the Spider Slayers, but he deactivates a Spider Slayer while it has Doc Ock in a holding position, and he uses that to try to get answers out of Superior, because he realizes quickly that this is not the same Spider-Man that I read all throughout history. Something is different with this guy. But before anything can be said, the Spider Slayers are actually reactivated and are no longer under the control of anybody except Green Goblin. That's right. So somehow Green Goblin has control over all advanced technology going on right now in the city. I will say this, that in conclusion, Goblin Nation Part 3 was absolutely wonderful. It's a really good read. I give this book a 4.5 out of 5. I really can't wait to see the continuation of Goblin Nation and how all of this plays into the return of Peter Parker. So that's it, you guys. Let me know what you think. If you've read this comic book, are you as pumped and excited and just in awe of everything that I just read like I was? You know, let me know your thoughts. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share. I always appreciate it. And as always, keep God number one in your life. Enjoy your comic books, and God bless you guys. I'm out of here.